What's good, everybody? We are back with another Call of Duty Mobile video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. So we do have another pretty important community update. Usually I don't do the update videos on these like every single week, but the last couple of weeks we've had some really important information. So I wanted to go ahead and go over it and cover it, especially for those of you who don't have Reddit downloaded and would not otherwise know what is going on in the community and everything else. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. We are getting really close to 400,000 subscribers. I believe we hit 388,000 today. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and smash that subscribe button down below, I would really appreciate it, as we are on that road to 400,000. But anyway, hopping into the community update, obviously this is the April 24th community update, 14 hours ago, basically today. So the first thing they're going to talk about in here is the Call of Duty World Championship. Obviously, this is going to be a pretty big deal, primarily because this is the first look at esports that Call of Duty Mobile has really had. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people excited about it, and there has been a lot of discussion about the Call of Duty Mobile Championship and the different rules and everything else going on. So obviously, the main thing for those of you who somehow managed to not see it from all the videos posted about it, you do have to be 18 and over in order to participate in the Call of Duty Mobile Championship, which is a pretty big deal because currently there's a lot of players in the competitive scene that are only 16 or 17 years old. So those people obviously won't be able to participate, at least this year. And obviously a lot of Call of Duty's audience in general is in that age range, so it's going to be disappointing for some people, but there will still be other tournaments and things to keep in mind, so that's something to be aware of. There's not a whole lot of information in here on the actual championship itself. Basically, it just says we're also truly thrilled to announce our COD Mobile Championship sponsored by Sony Mobile a few days ago. So that indicates that more than likely, at least in the finals, players will probably be playing on Sony phones. As far as I know, Sony doesn't have any type of tablets or anything, so that's something to be aware of too. Probably some of you pro players that are 18 years old might want to start getting some practice in on phones, but there's no official information as of yet what devices will be allowed, as we are still waiting for the official rule set for the tournament and everything else that's happening. All that we really know right now is that the first round of qualifiers is going to be happening in ranked starting on April 30th, and basically all that you need to know is that your first 10 ranked games will count toward your qualifiers for the Call of Duty Mobile Champions, and moving on to the second round. Next up, we got the upcoming and ongoing events. None of this is too terribly new. Gun game team fight, rapid fire mode. We do have a new Call of Duty Mobile update that is happening next week. So it's going to be April 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or May 1st at midnight GMT, and you can convert that to whatever you need it to be. But just for you guys that are wondering when exactly the update is going to be, this is not going to be an App Store update, so it's not going to be one of those where people are kind of guessing at when the update's happening and don't have any real information. This is one of those consistent 8 p.m. updates that happens at the same time every single week, so you guys can know for certain about that and what we do have coming. Next up, they do have a little bit more information about the World Championship. So like I said, sponsored by Sony Mobile, will be starting on April 30th. I'm definitely going to be streaming my games for that because I have a feeling it's going to be a lot higher level of competition because people are going to have together their full sweat squads trying to get ready for that full thing. There is more information that you guys can go and take a look at. I don't think there's anything super important here, as I've already taken a look at that. They do also have a blog on it, but nothing too important. Like I said, we do have the qualifiers that will be April 30th through May 24th, taking place every single weekend. So you will have multiple opportunities to qualify for the second round of the tournament. And there's also going to be in-game rewards for people who do qualify. And like I said, you do have to be 18 years or old and at least be veteran rank, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. Next up, we have a bunch of content that we're already aware of. Rust, we know, is coming in the new update, which, like I said, is happening on April 30th / May 1st. But the big thing, and probably the most important thing that people have been talking about, is the bundles test. So this is going to be looking into the bundles that have been in place in Call of Duty Mobile and how they're going to move forward with the bundles. As you can see right here, we want to take a long moment to focus on the store testing we've been doing in April, aka the bundles test. I am one of those people that's had the bundles, so I've been very heavily impacted by it and definitely spent a lot more money on the game because they have put bundles in. So first they're saying, why the test? The test will be running for a short while longer until the end of the month. That was kind of expected up until the next season. The main goal of the test was to ensure that our bundles as well as our content offerings deliver the best experience possible to all players. Those picked to test bundles were chosen randomly with no basis. That was kind of figured by most people that got it. There was no real pattern to people that got bundles and people that didn't. The test required that we use 2 separate groups in order to allow us to directly compare the results of each experience in real time. We hope to use these results to further evolve the in-game store. So the purpose of it was really to test and see what is most effective for them for monetization, but also what players responded better to. So obviously their aim was to ensure the results of the test wouldn't be biased in any way, and that is why it was completely random. But for the results of the test, they said we're nearing the end, and starting in May, we will have bundles, crates, and lucky draws all together. So this is going to be really interesting. In my opinion, this is good news and bad news. So this is good news because it means it's going to be fair in that everybody has bundles. It's probably going to also be bad news because more than likely the bundles will not contain those really expensive or really high tier items that most people are actually going to be willing to spend money on. So as of right now, the way that bundles work is you can have legendaries, epics, literally everything is going to be contained inside of bundles. If they're going to be putting epics and legendaries into the game, more than likely, they're not going to be putting it into the cheapest option. They're going to be putting it into the option that gives them the opportunity to make the most money, which is going to be those crates and the lucky draws. So more than likely, we're going to see the bundles in play for rare and uncommon items, but probably not a whole lot for the epic items. Now, this is not 100% confirmed, but this is just kind of what seems to make sense. It just wouldn't make any sense to me because nobody's going to spend $200 on a lucky draw for a legendary item when they could just spend $20 on a on a bundle and get the same legendary item. Obviously, you do have that element of luck, and you might have those 1 or 2 people that want to try their luck for like $5 and see if they can get it. But honestly, if you're going to spend $5, you might as well just spend the extra 15 and get the whole thing guaranteed rather than that tiny little chance out of getting it in a lucky draw. So it really does seem like that's the likely route that they will end up going with the lucky draw versus crates and bundles, or bundles versus crates and lucky draws, pardon. And I know they have probably changed the odds of the crates a little bit recently. I know that Noah actually got the new legendary AK on his second thing of 10 crates. But the thing is, even spending the second thing of 10 crates costs him more than the one bundle cost for me. So basically 10 crates cost you 1440 CP, but the one bundle for me cost 2400 CP. So the fact that he had to buy that twice meant he spent 2800 compared to my 2400, and he was relatively lucky in the way that he got it and how quickly he was able to get it. So we might see them changing the odds of some of the crates and lucky draws as well and giving us increased odds so it doesn't require quite as much. Obviously, I think just about everybody would agree that $200 or even $150 to spend on one skin is just kind of ridiculous. I feel like $15 to $20, especially for an epic or legendary skin, is reasonable, and not that you necessarily need it, but if you want to invest money into a game, that seems like a relatively reasonable amount to invest on a weekly basis as compared to spending $200 on skins every single week. If you're a content creator, it's one thing and you're able to make that money back by creating videos about the skins, but if you're just the average player, nobody wants to spend that amount of money for one skin that more than likely you're not even going to use for too terribly long. That's something that I've found as I've started to buy more and more skins because I have had the bundles. I don't really use those skins for all that long because as soon as the next one comes along, I'm going to be using that one unless it's like a legendary skin. Most of the time, obviously, you're going to stick with the legendary just because it has the cool animations and everything else, but I am interested to see how they implement it. More than likely, this is what it's going to be, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. that is the majority of the important news in this update. You can see right here they're also looking into a couple different bug fixes, one of those being the random hardpoint glitch where basically it's being contested when there aren't any enemies present. Increased latency issues after the March-April update, so basically weird ping spikes and everything else. I think a lot of people have expressed issues with that, just kind of randomly, and also black screen crashes. I know that a lot of Battle Royale players have been dealing with that. Hopefully that is another thing that we will see addressed soon, but that's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to drop a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the squad if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.